The Danish Prime Minister, Mette Frederiksen, also responded, saying that the vice president's comment doesn't correspond to reality, and reminded that Denmark stood alongside the United States in conflicts with Iraq and Afghanistan. It's a subtle but firm reminder that the partnership between the two countries has a long history. 420-0509. J.D. Vance discusses Greenland's strategic position in the Arctic and its rich natural resources, stressing its importance for U.S. military and economic interests. Well, first, the location, right? The island is strategically positioned in the Arctic, a region that is becoming increasingly accessible due to melting ice. And the Arctic, folks, is an important corridor for both commercial routes and military operations. Whoever controls areas like Greenland controls access to maritime routes and can project military power over an immense space. Not to mention that the perception that the United States is geographically distant from Russia is significantly reduced when we look at the Arctic map. So, ensuring security in that region would be prudent from Trump's perspective. Additionally, Greenland is rich in natural resources, ranging from rare minerals to potential oil and gas reserves. And the Trump administration, of course, wants to ensure that these resources remain available for exploitation by the United States. 08-54-09-42. Leaders Trump and Xi Jinping face challenges in negotiations, with distrust on both sides, complicating relations as China seeks to rebuild ties in Europe amidst geopolitical tensions. In this somewhat chaotic scenario, Beijing is trying to seize opportunities to advance its interests both in the United States and in Europe. The problem is that any broad agreement between Trump and Xi today seems unlikely. There is a lot of distrust on both sides, and to complicate things, Trump's unpredictable behavior only makes it worse. One moment he's playing hardball with tariffs and restrictions on Chinese investments, and the next, he's praising Xi Jinping as if they were close allies. It's an approach that doesn't facilitate consistent, long-term negotiations. Meanwhile, in Europe, Beijing sees openings. The tensions between Washington and the European Union, for example, have created space for China to try to rebuild relationships that were previously strained, especially due to China's support for Russia in the war in Ukraine.